Welcome to another edition of Twin Pair Tutorials. If you've watched some of my tutorials about feeding your dairy goats, you know that I feed our milking does sprouted barley. Of course, the follow-up question to that is, how do you sprout your barley? So today I'm going to show you. It's very simple, pretty darn affordable, only takes a couple of minutes a day. I want to mention too why I feed sprouted barley. Now, let me put the caveat in here that if you ask 100 different dairy goat owners what they feed their dairy goats, you will get 100 different answers. I am not saying this is the only way to feed your dairy goats, but what I do want to say is that this has been working for us. So what I do is I purchase whole barley. That means it's not rolled, it is not steamed, from our feed supplier. You can find, a grain or a mill that produces grain and try to buy 50-pound bags of whole barley. This tends to be quite a bit cheaper than buying a pre-mixed goat grain. If you are someone who sticks to a sheerly organic diet for your goats, I know that Azure Standard usually sells bulk barley as well. So the reasons we feed barley to our goats is because it has protein, it has potassium, it has fiber, it definitely has some carbohydrates, it has magnesium, and it has vitamin B6. Now, why do we sprout our barley? You can totally feed unsprouted barley to your goats. You can feed it to them hard and crunchy, and some of them are just as happy with that. Mine don't like it quite as much. But the reason we sprout our barley is because it makes it more digestible and the nutrients more available. So it becomes a little bit higher in concentration, meaning they get a little bit more nutrition per bite. So let me show you how we sprout our barley. So the tools you're going to need for sprouting barley are extremely simple. A half-gallon mason jar will work absolutely perfectly. You will make your life much easier if you purchase a sprouting lid. You can find these on Amazon. This one is from The Sprout People. And be sure to get one that has fine enough mesh that barley seeds can't go through it. Then you're going to want whole barley. So whole barley looks like this. You can see it's not rolled, it's not steamed, it's not flaked. The other versions, if it's been rolled and steamed, will not sprout. So when I'm making up my barley, I'm going to take my half-gallon mason jar and I'm going to fill it about 2/3 full of my whole barley. If you fill it to the top or to the bottom of the neck, you will have a problem on your hands the next day. So after I get it about 2/3 full, maybe a hair more than that, that's good. I am going to fill this above the barley with water. It doesn't really matter if your water is hot or cold. I will say that if you have a milking area and it is winter that will freeze overnight, I would recommend bringing this into the house, maybe leaving it right by your kitchen sink. So after I've got my barley in there and I filled it with water enough that it's covering all of my barley, I'm gonna let this sit for 12 hours, either all day or overnight, and let it sprout with the water in there. Now, 12 hours later, whether that's whenever I'm coming back for my next milking, essentially, I'm gonna dump all of this water out. Then I'm going to rinse it with some fresh, clean water one more time and drain it again. So ideally, you're going to do this every morning and every night for 3 days. then this barley is going to have just a little bit of a white tail starting to grow. That's when it's at its maximum nutrition, or so I've been told. I will tell you, I am not usually that on top of it. It is perfectly fine to feed it after 1 or 2 days sprouting, but 3 days is ideal. After that, and it starts to get a long tail, my goats tend not to want it anymore, where normally they just lap this up. So in your perfect world, you actually, depending on how many goats you need to feed, have multiple jars going. So a day 1 jar, a day 2 jar, and a day 3 jar, so that you are constantly rotating. So you have that perfect 3-day sprouted barley ready every day. But like I said, it's okay if it's only 1 or 2 days sprouted. If you forgot to soak yours overnight and you need to feed it to them unsoaked, dry, hard barley like this guy, that's fine. It's not going to hurt them at all. And that is truly how easy it is to sprout barley for your goats. I do want to mention this is not a supplement for alfalfa. Although there is calcium in barley, you definitely still need to be either offering alfalfa pellets or chaff hay when they're on the milking stanchion, and our milkers also receive alfalfa in their pen free choice throughout the day. It's not 100% alfalfa, it's mixed with grass. You can go watch my other tutorial on what to feed your dairy goats to get more detailed information on that. But it's all part of the picture that a milking dairy goat needs. And last reminder, this is for the does. This is not the rations for a buck or a wether. We do not feed our barley to our boys. Boys do not need grain. End of story. Thank you so much for watching today's tutorial. These are brought to you by our brilliant Patreons. And I have something new to announce. We now have on the farm learning experiences. Everything from learning how to milk to learning how to give your goat shots, and everything in between. We offer a farm stay option with that if you are getting ready to get your first goats and want the full Monty and get to meet some of my goats in person. So check that all out on our website, twinpairfarm.com.